Yes, I've created 10 tips for nailing an Irish accent just for you in 5 minutes. This is an emergency. Step 1. The short A in words like hat and after and prior to the R in words like start and car widens to a phoneme that we use in General American as the first part of the diphthong I. That's the only place we have it. In the American South, they have it in ma, I'd like a piece of pie. Ah. And in Jamaica, because the Irish went down there, they have it in yeah, man. But it's the ah sound, and we use it in the first part of the diphthong I. And in Dublin, you'll hear that in after and man and hand, and also in start, ah. Number 2, the short U sound in words like up and come and fuck rounds to a sound that we use in General American in the words put and could and book. So, come up here and fuck my wife. Let's deal with the short I and the short E. Both of them widen. So, bitten becomes betten, and better moves towards batter. Now, that's a little deceptive because an American is not going to say bitten. They're going to say bitten with a glottal stop, and they are going to say better with a D. But the Irish person will not only aspirate that T, but they will also widen it a little bit. So it'd be, oh, what a better pill. And that guy is a little better than the other. All right, so the long I. Number 4. Close your mouth a little bit and start the long I diphthong with more of that short U, as in fuck. So for words like my and die, you want to say my and die. Okay, so it's E as opposed to I. So number 5, close your mouth and start the ow diphthong with a little more of a short E sound as in the word bet. For words like how and down, it's going to be u instead of u. So it's going to be how and down. So the same way you'd say help, you'd say he and then u for how. And the same way you'd say dead, you will say de-u for down. How no, brown cow. That's just one of the ways they say ow in Ireland. That's one of the phonemes that you can use to figure out where somebody's from in Ireland. There are so many variations of the ow sound in Ireland. It's just amazing. Ow! Pay attention to the spellings in the words that Americans normally merge to a simple sound. So, we will have the same phoneme in the words first, perfect, word, and turkey. But the Dubliner might say first, perfect, word, and turkey. They might actually pronounce that preceding vowel. Hey, go figure. Now, this number 7 is a very tricky one. When you have the simple OR spelling of the OR sound, so I'm not talking about words like word, where it's the sound for an American. I'm talking about the OR sound, like morning. With the simple OR spelling, it widens to an R sound, marnin, while other spellings, including the silent E, narrow and gain length. So that word, morning, spelled M-O-R-N-I-N-G, would be pronounced marnin, but M-O-U-R-N-I-N-G and M-O-R-E would both be pronounced more, like lawnmower. So it would be, not that anybody in Ireland ever says this, but top of the morning to you, but she's in morning. Or I want some more. We would say, my mother took in a boarder and we live near the border. All right, so that's a tricky little one. Like for example, when my mother turned this many, my grandmother said she was 44. So the long O in hope is the Latin monophthong O, hope, but before an L, it can widen and gain length. So told can sound like told, I told you so, as opposed to, I toweled him off. Number 9, dentalize your TH sounds by sealing your tongue against the top teeth where the teeth meet the gum ridge. Okay, so it's p. So this is for the unvoiced and the voiced TH sounds. So think can become think. Now it's not tink. It's not a t aspirated T. And it's not think. It's think. And the voiced version of that, these, can become these. Now it's not D's and it's not these, but it's these. All right. And the very last thing, number 10, make sure you aspirate your T's t, t, instead of turning them intervocalically into D's or making them into glottal stops very often. And make sure that you turn those L's, all of them, front and back, into liquid L's, which is a la sound. Tongue is in a very similar place that I just described where the gum ridge hits the teeth. La, 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 that's your front L. You want to use that in front and back. Now, you may not notice this because, as I said, you can't really hear your own dialect or accent, but an American will say pile and use back L, oh, and it'll sound like you're swallowing or, oh, you're being punched in the stomach. Whereas an Irish person might say, especially from Dublin. Now, there are a lot of other ways to speak with an Irish accent, but in Dublin, you'll hear the front L a lot more in both positions. So you'll hear hello and like and pile and a little. Did you see that spit? It was this fantastic trajectory. Now go and drink some black and tan. I hope that you can pass as a local. And if you can't, spend a little bit more than 5 minutes at it. And now I will play you a little tune I like to call Drowsy Maggie. Let's see if the old faithful is still in tune from last St. Paddy's Day, shall we? Not particularly, but who cares? I'm going to shove my hand down into my dress.